look at Emma, all put together once again. Totally not in cat pajamas. Speaking of cats, I have this purry baby with me. 100% here for the catnip. But I figured I would make him sit in this video at least for a second, because we need something positive in this salty ass tea or whatever. It's gonna be salty. I don't know if it'll be tea, but it'll be salty. Okay, you can go. You might go, but I have all this there in my mouth. Ugh. I didn't know what to film today, or ever. I never ever know what to film. And I was sitting and I was like, you know what? We haven't been salty on this channel yet. Well, we've been salty on this channel. We haven't been salty this year. So as usual, didn't know what to film. And I decided I was just in the mood to be a little salty. Unfortunately, I don't have any tea to spill for you guys because I've not read anything crap this year yet, which is really good, but not good when you're in the mood to rant and bitch and all manner of negative things. So I've decided to do one of those videos that everyone has already done, but I love them and I really wanted to do one because I do this for fun sometimes, so why not share it with you? So today I have 5 of my favourite books, and I have went onto Goodreads, filtered the reviews to 1 star, and I'm gonna see how wrong some bitches are. So I figured first of all we would start with Les Miserables. Can you see my Les Mis shelf? Just about. Future Emma coming in from the end of this video. Just to pop in a disclaimer, this is a channel full of just entertainment and good vibes. There are no bad vibes intended. I really don't care if people hate books that I love. I think it's entertaining and it's good to get another perspective. You know, nobody is wrong for their opinions, and there is no hate, only love, except when I shout at people for being wrong. You get what I mean though. It's entertainment. Okay, enjoy the video. Les Mis is a classic. Classics always get stick. Of course it is a 5-star read for me, but I understand that some people will not like it. I have a feeling that out of these like 15,000 1-star reviews, a lot of them are going to be like, the translation was terrible, and I'll be like, well, don't blame the book for that. But anyway, we're gonna get to it. Oh, the very first one. Well, the second one says, fuck this fucking book. But the first one is hidden because it contains spoilers. But you know, the book is literally 200 years old, so if you're not spoiled... Okay, that's far too big a review. This is going great. Somebody has DNF'd the book at 6%, which is 126 pages. This book is way too long and unnecessarily slow. You picked up a 1,000 page classic. No classic is fast paced. Why would you think a 1,000 page classic would be fully fast paced and entertaining? I mean, it is entertaining, but still. 2,000 and something pages. Girl, what translation are you reading? It's like 1,200 at most. All I know from what I read is Bishop, that's extremely selfless and unnecessary descriptions of things that have little to do with the story. Yeah, well, if you DNF the book during the backstory, of course you haven't read the story. Might finish it someday, but for now I just have to stop here before this book kills me. They haven't updated that in the year, 2 years since this review, so I think the book's killed them. Probably fell on top of their head and killed them. Oh. War and Peace seemed 1,000 pages too short. This book unfortunately seemed 1,000 pages too long. Haven't read War and Peace, can't relate. Victor, do we really need 4 full chapters about the sewers of Paris and a poetic side of excrement? Was there 4 chapters of that? I don't recall that in my edition. I mean, there was definitely a chapter. And are we really supposed to believe that of all the thugs, thieves, murderers and other scoundrels haunting Paris, the one guy Inspector Javert is really intent on capturing is the guy who stole a loaf of bread 20 to 30 years before? Yeah, I get it, the French legal system was unfair, but come on, this is ridiculous. He got 5 years for a loaf of bread and the rest because he kept trying to run away. So, you know. Hold on. Bernadette has one-starred the Les Miserables book, saying, first of all, I only watched the musical. Sorry, didn't realise this was goodtheatre.com. It's Goodreads. Anyway, but the entirety of the story was just so blood-boiling and cringeworthy that I'll put the actual book onto the rereading waiting list's end. Not to mention the Wolverine dude is completely toned down. Okay, hold on. This chick hasn't even seen the musical. She has seen the movie. Who the fuck reviews a book because they watched a movie musical adaptation? Also, the Wolverine dude, he started out on Broadway, so you can't use the hiring A-listers with no talent excuse because the fucking dude was a Broadway actor before anything else, so. I am done. I thought that was me easing in to these reviews, but somebody legit reviewed Les Mis because of the movie. Could you imagine if we reviewed books based on their movies? Nobody would read some of our favourite books. Oh my god. Go to IMDb, Bernadette, for fuck's sake. Oh my god. Next, we move on to my beloved Wicked, which, you know, has its own little special shelf on top of the little bookcase. So I fully expect certain things to come up in these reviews, particularly the pacing and just the general plot of this book. I also expect to see people who are fans of the musical complaining because it's very, very different. I have seen negative reviews for this before, so like I shouldn't be surprised, but I am not feeling positive about this after Les Mis. Madeline, in 2007, gave a very big review that's actually been updated and has even had to address potential commenters, so clearly she says some shit. First she starts with, instead of my usual gripping style, we'll do this review in list form. So somebody's already egotistical and thinks that they can write very well. Things I really wish Gregory Maguire had bothered to explain that might have made Wicked worth reading. Point 1. Why Elphaba was green. Pretty sure it's slightly touched upon. If not, it's not his character. He stole her from L. Frank Baum. Spoiler. I might agree with this point. The philosophy club. Yeah, it was introduced towards the middle of the story, then never mentioned again. I think that's because nobody wanted it mentioned again, to be perfectly honest. How it's physically possible that Elphaba gave birth to a son but may actually not have because she doesn't remember it. And she explains that in this, Maguire's explanation is that she was drugged up on sedatives for the entire pregnancy and therefore cannot tell if she actually had a kid. And she goes, listen Greg, I know you're a guy, but I assure you there is no drug on this earth or on Oz that makes a woman unable to remember giving birth. One, I'm sure plenty of people, by plenty I mean at least a couple, have given birth with no recollection, you know. There's a woman, literally, there's this whole thing going on just now about that woman that's in a coma that's ended up having a baby. Will she remember that? Probably not. She might, but still. 2, I highly doubt you've been to a fictional world. If you have, I highly doubt you've tried every single drug and had a child to confirm that point, but sure. Why Elphaba wanted the magic slippers so much? They were her sisters. This is established in the fucking Wizard of Oz. And you know what? I'm not even going to read the last point because I feel like this person just doesn't even know the Wizard of Oz or anything. Also, I should point out, I can't remember anything that happens in books, so I might have knowledge from like something else. So like with Wicked, I might know something because it happened in the musical, which obviously isn't relative to the book, so sorry. I don't care. Here we go, here we have a Broadway show person. David recommends it for people who like modern takes on fairy tales. Sorry, that was just a literal pot of glue. Like an Elmer's glue, kids PVA glue falling from my desk. Clearly the Wicked Witch of the West is here and does not agree with what David is about to say. David has recommended it to people who like modern takes on fairy tales but who can't read beyond a 5th grade level. Wicked's a hard read. I wouldn't give it to a 5th grader. So David says that he has a confession. I wanted to read this book because I saw the Broadway show. I heard the book and the show were quite different, so I wanted to see the difference. Bro. Quite different. There's no similarities. They've literally taken the characters and the rough idea that they were friends in high school or college or whenever the fuck it was, fake stan. Yeah, there's nothing. Nothing. The biggest difference is that the show is good and the book is not. I mean, the show is better. So this David character is one of those non-writers who openly admits that he does not think he could be a writer, except he read this book and thought he could do a better job. Sorry bro, don't think so. I am done with Wicked reviews. Moving on to the 3rd book. I'm thinking it's gonna kill me. So next is The Fox and the Star by Coralie Bickford Smith. This is a picture book. It is technically aimed for children, but it is more kind of an all-rounder. I'm worried because, just to give you guys context for how much I love this book, it's a gorgeous book. It's full of gorgeous illustrations and it deals with a fox. This little guy. Does he look familiar to you? I would hope so. I have fox tattooed on my arm because I freaking love that book. So yeah, I might have 7 copies of Wicked and reading negative reviews is difficult, but when you literally have a piece of a book tattooed on your body, as long as they don't point something out that I completely missed and I'm gonna be like, holy shit, why did I do that? I kid, I'm so in love with my tattoo. There is only one written review for this 1 star. I'm generally a sucker for anything to do with foxes, but this book wasn't for me. I didn't like the story or illustrations. How could you not like the illustrations? Like, I know art is subjective, but they are gorgeous. I'm gonna go to 2-star reviews because there's 98, so hopefully there's more text reviews. First one says, a John Lewis advert in book form, very twee. Ironically, like 2 years after this review, John Lewis did a Christmas advert with foxes. Nothing to do with Fox and the Star. If you don't know John Lewis, it's a retail store, like department store in the UK, and their Christmas adverts often make people cry, even me. Somebody has said that, in summary, The Fox and the Star seems to be primarily a gift book. Of course, the edition hardback that I have is definitely a gift, and there is a paperback now. But this person goes on to say, it's beautiful and it'll be pretty on any shelf, but it's not satisfying to read for grown-ups and too precious an object to be meant for children. I disagree. Just because it's a precious book doesn't mean children can't appreciate it or have it read to them and look at. And I definitely disagree that it's not a story for adults. I mean, I literally have fox tattooed on me because I love foxes, because of what they represent, but also to do exactly with that story. The Fox and the Star, just to give you guys a little review, follows Fox, who's best friends with Star. And one day Star isn't there anymore and Fox gets very depressed. He goes into hiding and, you know, he just wants his Star back. And eventually he decides to sort of go outside again and he looks up and the sky is full of stars. And he kind of realises that although his star's not there, there's still others around him. I just think it is a very beautiful story. Yes, it's a great way to teach kids about grief and loss and everything, but I do think there is something very precious there for adults to remind them that, you know, just keep going. So I disagree that there's not something there for adults. So now we're going to move on to basically the reason I'm doing this video. And there's 2 reasons that this book is why I'm doing this video. So the first one is because this is the book that I am always reading bad reviews for, but also because when I tweeted saying I don't know what to film, the author of this book said, reasons why I love Estelle. So if those hints haven't given you anything, I'm going to be reading 1-star reviews of Did I Mention I Love You by Estelle Mascom. Oh, we all know what's gonna come up, don't we? Fucking incest. It's not incest. Just saying. Oh, this review, yes. This first review is from a 40-year-old. Now, listen, I am a little bit more lenient when it comes to Goodreads because Goodreads I feel is very much for personal thoughts on books. But I do think as well that if you are going to write reviews that are as in-depth as this one with quotes, remember why you're writing it. You are most likely writing it for the benefit of other readers. So you kind of need a more critical and professional view. And what I mean by that is when you are a 40-year-old or a 22-year-old reading books that are written for 13 to 16-year-olds, you need to read it with the mindset of a 13 to 16-year-old. Yes, you can point out flaws and say, you know, as a 22-year-old, I didn't appreciate this, but you should be able to sort of say, if I was 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever, I would appreciate it. And this is one of those reviews that is very much just like, well, I'm 40 years old and I don't relate to the characters, so it's shit. And it's like, no. You're picking up a book that's not intended for you and reading it as if it is intended for you. And it's tough because, you know, we should be able to pick up any book and relate to it. But sometimes books are written for a certain demographic and that is fine. She starts off by saying, I'm going to sound like a big old prude here, but I really hope teens reading this review listen to the voice of reason. So, from the start, this person is literally saying that they are writing this review for teenagers to look at and make a judgment on this book that was written for their age. I'm 40 years old, I've been where you are, trust me, toxic relationships are toxic. This book glorifies that, and while I give the author kudos for publishing a series at a young age, I can tell she is a very young author. I don't think I would call Tyden's relationship toxic. Definitely not glorified. I know there are plenty of high school and college girls who just love this book. I am not one of those girls, because you're not a girl, you're a woman, and you are not in high school. So clearly there's going to be an issue. There's just something inherently wrong in this quote from Eden, which pretty much sums up Eden and Tyler relationship. The quote is, he tastes like beer and tobacco, but there's something enthralling about it. It's so familiar because it's so him, his permanent taste. And she goes on to say, just yuck. This boy has so many problems, and while I'm glad Tyler eventually gets the help he desperately needs, he in no way needs the complications of a relationship with go along with the pack Eden. Okay, spoilers. Eden is like the reason Tyler gets help. So if he didn't have the relationship with her, he wouldn't be getting help. So you can't have one without the other. Second, calling Eden a go-along girl, from my experience in high school and as a teenager, I would have been referred to as the go-along girl because I just went along with what everyone else was doing. Basically, you have the bitchy popular girls and then you have the go-along girl. And this person in this review is kind of trying to say that because Eden just doesn't make up her own mind or does what other people are saying to do, that she isn't a good person. But growing up being the go-along girl, you know, you still... I mean, obviously you might have situations where you're like, this is wrong, I don't want to do that, but you do it anyway. But I'm actually reading a book right now about stress and teenagers and stuff, and it actually talks about the science involved where teenagers use different parts of their brains to adults. So when a teenager makes a decision that an adult looks at and goes, why would you do that? It's because we use different parts of the brain. So, you know, just because Eden might make a rash decision because of what other people are doing doesn't mean she's like stupid. She's just growing and brain connections and meh. I do not understand for the life of me what Eden sees in him. He's an absolute mess. If he weren't so hot, and she spelled that H-A-W-T, if he looked more like Bill Gates than Brad Pitt, trust me, Eden wouldn't have given him a second glance. This boy is big time toxic and she is only 16 years old. Bad plan, girly. Does this 40-year-old remember over half their life ago being a teenager? kind of how these things work. Most people get into relationships based on the face. Look at Tinder. You know, yes, it's not the way that things should be, but it's how it is. And I mean, she's read the books, so she knows that it's not like insta love. Like, she sees Tyler, she sees how hot he is, and she doesn't like him because he's an asshole. So I did not like one single character. Oh, here we go. They're all they're all either special snowflakes. We're all fucking snowflakes, bitch, because none of us are the same. That was Eden, or unremarkable, which are the little brothers. The little brothers are barely in the fucking book. Of course they're unremarkable, they don't do anything. Or party girls, Rachel and her gaggle of drunken friends. Okay. Or sluts, bracket Tiffany, here we go. I'm pretty sure Tyler's a slut as well, but hey, no, he's got a penis, so it doesn't count, right? Or ignorant parents, all parents in the book. Right, for a fucking start, Eden's mother is in Portland. She ain't around, right? Eden has went to Santa Monica to spend time with her dad, who is an asshole, and her stepmom, who actually, Ella is lovely. Ella is not ignorant. Ella tries her damn hardest, and if you read the book, you will know why she lets Tyler off with shit. You know, usually parents just don't care for a reason, whereas the reason Tyler gets away with stuff is because Dave is just an asshole who doesn't care because it's not his actual son, and Ella is feeling guilty for shit, so she like lets him away with it. It makes sense, it's actually plausible. So you're wrong, girl. And also, how can you be mad at Eden's mum when Eden's mum is in a completely different fucking state? I also hate the message of this book. This is a problem. The thing with YA these days, especially YA contemporary, is that books need to have a message or some important topic they deal with. And actually sometimes, yes, books can have important topics and stuff, but sometimes books are just fun. They're entertainment, you know. Not every single book needs a massive message that, you know, is gonna change people's lives and all this stuff. So if you're looking for a message, of course you're gonna find a crap one, because there's not one there really. You know, it's a story about two people falling in love when everyone in the world is against it happening, even though it's perfectly legal. The message in it is just let people love who they want, really. Like, there's no ulterior motive or anything. Like, ugh. So the message that this person has taken is that a girl can save a drug-addicted boy if she just loves him enough. That's not real, but hey, he's so hot and she lurves him. No, go home, Eden. Finish high school and go on to your college in Chicago. There are loads of boys there, boys who are motivated and aren't your stepbrother and have never been addicts. Tyler does not need the drama you will bring, he needs years of intense therapy. Nobody, I mean, I didn't think reading the book for the first time at like 14 that I could save genuinely, when people say shit like that, I'm just like, why? I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I'm allergic to her bullshit. The bottom line, if you love new adult, I'm growing tired of it myself, it's not new adult. It gave 2 out of 5 for appeal. I'm saying it, sorry. They gave 2 out of 5 for the category of appeal to teens. It's a fucking teen book. Of course it appeals to teenagers. She literally said in her review that teenagers found it fun. So clearly it appeals to, oh my god. Okay. Oh, this is my favourite part. She counted the language. There are 40 plus F-bombs, 30 plus shit, damn, hell, bitch, high sexuality, kissing, making out, sex in public places, second base, third base, loss of virginity, discussion of pregnancy. Girls, if you think that's high, you need to pick up like 50 Shades of Grey and shit. Violence, mild, but not descriptive. Drugs, alcohol, teens party often, get drunk, smoke cigarettes, marijuana, do cocaine. Anyway, I think that was long enough. To wrap it up, why don't we have a look at Just Don't Mention It? Because This is my favourite of the series, and it's book 1 but told from Tyler's perspective, and I personally think the writing is like a massive glow up. Oh, we have one with text, and it was a DNF. This is so bad. The writing is terrible and feels like an awkwardly written first attempt by a 14-year-old. She was 30 when she first wrote the series, rewrote it at 17, wrote that book at 20, I believe, so you're a little wrong. And I found several grammatical errors within the first few pages. She's tagged it, she's shelved it as NetGalley, so hun, you're reading an arc. There are errors in arcs. That is all I have. Not what I expected. I feel like I thought I was going to be more angry, or maybe I'm really angry. I think actually I'm more angry than I thought, and it's just kind of receded into me, and I'm just like, not even gonna react, bitches. In all seriousness though, guys, reading is so subjective, and it is perfectly okay not to like books that other people like. You know, I disagree with what these people have said, but it doesn't make what they've said wrong. Like, people are allowed their thoughts, and this is all just a bit of fun. I am here for fun and entertainment. There's no bad vibes at all. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. There are so many other books I could read reviews for. Maybe I'll be slightly more energized, because I'm actually really tired. I've just noticed that. But let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. What the fuck is this? Pew pew.